Hello everyone, welcome to Learn Overflow. In this video, we will see how you can make your own audiobook using Azure Cognitive Service. Previously, I made a similar video of audiobook, but that was using simple Python libraries. But this time, we will use Azure Cognitive Service, where we can use our ML models, or pre-trained ML models, just using a API call. So here is an article written by me, and this article actually drives you through the whole process. And in this article, I cannot make you listen to the audiobook and how the audiobook performs. So this video is for all those who are reading this article and want to know how this audiobook performs. So let's go step by step according to our article and build our own audiobook. So first, what is an article here? From Wikipedia description, we get to know that an audiobook is a recording of a book or other work being read out loud. Okay, so that's basically the audiobook. For here, you would need Python 3.5 or older or any other later version of it. Make sure you have something. You can have 3.9, that's the latest version as of now, but in this video I will use Python 3.6 because I have that installed in my machine. Okay, moving ahead, we would need a PyPDF2 library, and we would need an Azure account. And don't worry, this won't cost you money. I will definitely tell you how this things comes for free. First thing, go ahead and install PyPDF2. So if I just go ahead to my Python editor and look here, just open the terminal, and yeah, and here if I just try pip install py-pdf2. Okay, if I just try to install it, it would give me some kind of error saying that I already have that installed. Yes, I have already installed py-pdf2 in my machine, and if you can just do something like this, and this should work for you. This should install for you, but here it will say I have already py-pdf2 installed in my machine. Just wait and see what it says you. Look, it says the requirements are already satisfied. So this is why the PyPDF2 is already installed in my machine. Let's move ahead to the blog and see what can happen or what we need to do. First thing, we need to say import PyPDF2. That is the basic thing we need to write, and we need to then open our books. Let's do this one by one. uh, let's close our terminal as of now, and here we'll say import pypdf2, and after that we'll open our book. We'll say book, and book open, and here we will give our uh, PDF file that I have in this folder. That is the folder I'm using is Python practice. Here you can see this folder has my this PDF here, and I want to open this as RB. RB basically means in read-only mode. So this would open the PDF in read-only mode. So this is what I have explained in here, that how you can open this in RB. And if you want to know other like what are the other access modes we have in Python, then you should definitely look for the Python file handling. Up next, we need to open a reader, and we need to run this. I'll tell you what we are doing here. So we just oops. So So here we just took the file reader, the PDF file reader. So we are trying to read our book. So in the first step, we opened our book. In the next step, we are just trying to read our book through with a PDF file reader. And here PDF file reader is reading through the book. Now what we'll do, we ran a for loop of next of say a variable num, which runs from the range 0 till reader dot num pages, and this is the area it runs. And what do you do? We just extract the text from the each of the pages. Here, it reads the file. It reads through the PDF book. Here, it opens the PDF. Here, it reads through the PDF, and here, it extracts the text. Look, first we took the reader object, and in the reader object we put the get page, like the page is the number, the page number we got here. So we just got to that particular page, and then we just tried to extract the text of that particular page. If you're interested to know what this text it is actually reading, like what text it is actually extracting out of the PDF, then just remove this comment line, that is the hash from there, and you can definitely see the exact text would get printed in your while you are running the program. So if you're just willing to see, I'll just show you in a moment how this text is running. So look, it will just print the text, and uh, oops, probably it will not run because from page 0 there isn't any text as such. Yeah, yeah, wait. Yeah, look, it just keep on printing page by page because this is a huge book, and yes, it is working, but this is a huge book and it's just go on printing page by page. Let me just stop the program, and here you can see it was just printing page by page. So that's how this exact text part works for us. All right, now let's move ahead. We need to fix some other stuffs as well. We are going to use Azure Cognitive Service in here. So we got our text from our PDF. We need to convert this to some kind of audio so that we can listen to it. All right. First, what is Azure Cognitive Service? So it says the Azure Cognitive Service makes your AI accessible to every developer without requiring machine learning or data science knowledge. Okay, so that's what our Azure Cognitive Service does for us. Now, uh, you need an Azure account to get your Azure Cognitive Service, and why you need that? Because you would require to make an API call to your Azure resources, and that API call would actually help you in reading out the text or converting it to an audio format. All right. So for that, you need to an Azure account, and if you don't have an Azure account, here I have given you the link for getting a free Azure account. That's the start free, and that will give you some kind of initial benefits and 1 month free service, or sorry, 1 year of free service, and there are some other parts as well. Just go through this link given here. It will just show you of what it is. All right, then if you're a student, you would have multiple options to get Azure for completely free. Like you won't have any kind of limitations to that. So if you have a .edu email, like the usually universities provide you with the .edu email ID. So if you have educational, like the student email ID, then you can go for Azure for Students, and that will give you free account credits. Also, you can use a GitHub Student Developer Pack. Using GitHub Student Developer gives you $100 Azure credits, and it has also many other premium features as well. Coming to the third one is becoming a Microsoft Launch Student Ambassador. So this Microsoft Launch Student Ambassador this program gives you $150 credit monthly. So this gives you the maximum amount of credits, but other two, like all other things, as your sign up page for the initial one would give you some kind of credit initially, and would give you some free document, free stuffs also. Here Azure for Students will also give you some initial credits. GitHub Student Developer Pack would give you $100 Azure credits, but this student Microsoft Launch Student Ambassador program would give you $150 Azure credit, and that too on a monthly basis. You will just continue getting your Azure credits. There are other benefits of that program as well, but let's keep that ahead. We just move on with our cognitive service and without getting a speech API. So next thing you need to know about why you are using an Azure account, or why you are trying to make an AI call. So Azure Cognitive Service definition says that all you need to do is to make an API call to embed the ability to see, hear, speak, search understand and accelerate decision making into your apps. So these are the things like the ability to see, hear, speak, search, understand, and accelerate decision making. So this kind of stuff are done by the Azure Cognitive Service, like the Azure Cognitive Services. And for these things, you just make to do a API call. You don't need to require machine learning expertise for this. So we'll just create our own speech API. So here I have shown you how you can create the speech API, but I will just in a moment show the video of how like in a format how you can create your own speech API. Okay, here we'll just go to portal.azure.com, and here in that the first thing you need to do is to sign in. Uh, yeah, I'll just pick my account that is suitable for this service, and after signing, the Azure portal would look something like this. Just wait and let it load. So here you can see this is the format in my old Azure services, like the Azure portal looks. That's the Azure home. Here on the left you can see a create resource format, like the create a new resource. So here you will go and we'll just create our new resources. Like we'll just create a new resource for our purpose. Okay, so here you can see it would ask you for like the what resource you were trying to create. There's a huge list of resources that you can create, and here you can see make like the from the Azure marketplace you can search for see all, and you can see the all the resources that you can create out of Azure, or you can make use of Azure. So we will here use the speech. Sorry, here's the speech. So this is the speech API, like the speech API that we want here. So here we'll just create this speech resource. Going ahead, you just click on the create and wait for the stuff. It will just ask you for a few of the details. So few of the details I will just give the name as Learn Overflow, because that's the name you can find more or less in all my YouTube videos, and that's the name of my YouTube channel as well. So that's a name I give to my resource. So try to make this name something unique so that you can easily find out your resource that you are looking for, like make it more specific to your task that you're doing. Okay, so next thing is the Azure subscriptions. Here I have Azure Visual Studio Enterprise subscription. So this is the subscription that Microsoft Launch Student Ambassador programs student ambassadors get, and this subscription gives you $150 Azure credits monthly. So I have the subscription. If you don't have any kind of subscriptions previously, then in the blog I have mentioned about how you can get your own subscription. Look ahead, I have just linked here. I have just linked a space where you can get your own subscriptions here. Just a second. Here like the how to create your new subscription. Here's I have linked a document how you can article where you can know how to do that. Next thing is location. So for the location, this basically asks you in which region you want your Azure document to be, Azure resource to be created. So as Azure being a world global community, it gives you the opportunity to create a resource in any where you want. Like it's always recommended to create a resource in a area nearest to you. All right, so here I will use the Central India because I am from India, and this Central India would be the nearest resource I can get. Now coming to the important thing, like the pricing of the pricing tag. So for the pricing tag, it's better to like for I will go with the free zero. But if you need something high standard, like if you need a lot of resources, if you want to spend a huge amount of money, then you should go with the standard S0. But I'm working with the free tier, because here in this block what you're trying to do is will be done by the free tier. I don't want to spend money on that. So while you spend money, and unless it's necessary, right? So I'll go with the free tier. Okay, next thing it will ask you for your Azure resource group. So in resource group is basically a container that holds related resources for your Azure solution. It just keeps all your Azure, like a particular task related resources in a host in a particular place. So if you can consider this as a bucket or a container kind of stuff. So again, I'll name the resource group as my favorite, Learn Overflow. So I'm just making the resource group the same name. So yeah, I just created a new resource group for my particular speech related task. Okay, so next thing, nothing as hard, so we'll just create, and this will create the resource group we have here. All right, so we got our resource groups. There you can see the deployment in progress. On the right hand side it shows you, and in a moment it will show you the deployment is successful. Okay, that's how this deployment succeeded, and here you can click on go to resources. So when you come to overview resources, in that you basically see an overview page. This is the overview page on the left hand side, where you get the basic idea of what this resource is. You can say the resource name, a resource name as the resource group name you selected, or you created a new resource group, so that will be shown here. Then your subscription type, your subscription ID, then the pricing tier, the amount of money you are going to spend is a pricing tier. Then this shows you free, and the API type is a speech API type. And here the location we used is Central India. All right, so it gives you the all the basic details, and gives you the basic benefits of like the basic get started with the space services. But we are not interested in all this. We would directly go to the keys and the endpoints. So here, keys and the endpoint, it gives you two keys. Okay, and endpoint a location. The location is the Central India, is the exact location which is selected while creating your API or creating a resource. Okay, so there is an important note. These keys are used to access your Azure Cognitive Service API, and they recommend that you do not share your resource, share your keys. Okay, also they recommend you to generating these keys regularly, and it's important to know that the only one key is necessary to make a API call. So this is not necessary that you need both the keys. Only a single key is enough for you. All right. So when you're generating the first key, you can use the second key to continue the access to the services. So this is the stuff for the security services they provide. Azure provide you. All right, we got our key, we got our location, and we got our endpoint. Now it's time to implement our like the text to speech workings in our code. Move back to the article and see what exact lines of code you need to implement. So again, when you are trying to do, you need require like the Azure Cognitive Service speech library, or the speech SDK Python package. Okay, so here I have given you how you can install this, and then when you have installed this, less time to implement the API keys. So we would need to import this Azure cognitive service speech as SDK. So as SDK is something relevant, like you can use as SDK, or you can use completely as speech throughout the code. So that's up to you, but I would try to rename this to a small name as a SDK, and we'll just use this in a more often, so that will make be helpful for us. Okay, so we just got our Python, like the library Python package imported. All right. Next, we need to set our key and the region. So we will directly set our keys and the region. Here, it's mandatory that you change your subscription or subscription key and your service region. Here, I will do that. So in this, look here, we'll just copy one of the keys, and we'll just replace this with our keys. Okay, so don't worry, by the time you are watching this video, I would have definitely deleted this exact resource group. So there's no point that you can copy my key, and you cannot use this particularly. All right, so here we got our key. Then move back to the article, the blog, and here you can see we need to do a config. So what is that? After that, we will create an instance of speech config with a subscription key and region. So this is basically we're just trying to configuring the subscription and the region, like the subscription key and the region to our SDK. This SDK would now understand what's the particular API, like the what's the particular key we have, and by which it can call the API. Okay, so we'll just configure that part. So we'll just configure that part, and this is the basic region. So look, we just did nothing. We just used this SDK library, the speech library, and within that there is a function that the speech config. We just configured this with our subscription key and the region we took here. All right, that's the basic stuff we did here. All right. Now, after this configuration, we will need a synthesizer. What would synthesizer do for us? So this would actually work as a human voice. So this would, the voice you can listen to is basically the voice coming from a synthesizer. Okay, so this is the voice that is produced artificially. So we would need a synthesizer. So this, for this synthesizer, we would require a small lines of code, and I'll show you what this, how this code works just a bit. Yeah, so here we just putting down a synthesizer object, and this is the object is actually making use the speech library, and this speech library, there is a function called speech synthesizer, and within that we are just sending the configuration is our speech configuration that we created last line, that is the config. Okay, this config stuff. So this is the thing we are doing with the synthesizer. So synthesizer basically like creates the voice or creates the human like voice artificially. Okay, so that's the basic synthesizer. Now we need to get our results, right? We need to get our results, so we need to listen to our results. So for that we need to uh, create a results track. Okay, so here look carefully. uh, for the results, since we are going through page by page on, like when you are reading our PDF books, when you we're just going through page by page. So for that, it's necessary that you uh, get the results for each line, for each page that you're going through. All right, so for that we'll just put our result within the for loop or within the loop that was that we are using to move from page by page. All right, so here you can see the synthesizer, we're using making use of synthesizer, that is this synthesizer, and we're saying that speak text async. The synthesizer has another function, the to speak text synchronously, and that will take the text is the text that we created here, that is the reader.get page number, and that extracts the text we extracted from the each page of the PDF file. Okay, so the result is that. Now do you need any kind of other stuff? No, we just did our program. Okay, we just did our program. If I just run it, if I just run this whole code, and you would see how this works. Here you can listen to the voice. Listen.
Chapter 1 Introduction Kubernetes is an open source orchestrator for deploying containerized applications. It was originally developed by Google, inspired by a decade of experience deploying scalable, reliable systems in containers via application-oriented APIs. Once since its introduction in 2014, Kubernetes has grown to be one of the largest and most popular open source projects.
So I hope you understand how this works, how this particular speech recognition works. Okay, so I understand that this is not the best one, and even in my blog I wrote about it that this is not the uh, best one, as the text needs some kind of pre-processing before feeding into the speaker engine. If you are interested in working on this, you can definitely make your own contribution in feeding the speaker engine, like the manipulating the text or pre-processing the text before it is done. So there's some kind of improvements you can work as well. So here you can see that we are going through the text as page by page. as a return, it's not necessary you need to go through the page text page by page. You can do something like text equals, you can say null, and that is basically we are just moving this text to a, like we're just making the text kind of uh, like global variables, and here like the something that is used that is originally called outside the for loop, and in this case it will go from page number 21 till the last page, and at the same time it will just take the whole book as a uh, sing like in a particular text variable, and after that it will just start reading. Then you don't need to go through page by page, it will just go through the whole book at once. Okay, so there's the loop is only on the text variable to get extract the text, and the speaker, once the speaker starts reading, it will end up in at the end of the book. There's nothing like it will not stop in between. These are the improvements. There are many other improvements you can do. You can save this as an audio file, you can do many other improvements, and that's how you can actually make use of the Azure Cognitive Services to convert your text to speech. Your Azure Cognitive Services, if you just go ahead and see what is this Azure Cognitive Services, in this Azure Cognitive Services, there are a lot of other features as well. You can try Azure Cognitive Services for free. Yes, you can do that, and we are actually doing that. We actually did that. So it gives a lot of other machine learning services, but yeah, for that you don't need machine learning. You just need an API call. So it gives a decisions like anomaly detector, content moderator, personalizer, or metrics advisor. And in languages there are other stuff it does. Okay, so in speech there are other tasks. The one of this we did is text to speech. In vision it gives you a lot of tasks. In web search it gives you Bing web search API. So there is a lot of stuff that your economic services can do for us. So thank you all for watching this video, and hope to see you soon in my next video. And definitely hope to see you soon in my next video, and definitely uh, go through the blog. Go through the blog. If you have any other kind of questions that coming out in your mind, make sure you drop it in the comment section of this video or in the comment section of the blog itself. I'll try to reply to all of you as I get through it. So in the blog I have also make some kind of details explanation of how you can of what are the basic best use cases, so that would be definitely help you as well. So thank you all for watching this video.